my personal checklist, and ideally everyone in the team is doing the same checklist, but it starts with, are there legitimate relationships? Have you met with the client well in advance of the RFP dropping? Do you really know what the why is? Like, do you really understand what they need to go solve for? And not just, and again, in deals that are this large, the number of stakeholders you have are in the 30s, 40s. It's not one or two decision makers. So you have to actually understand a very complex mapping. Um, and you have to understand the people that are influencing those people and start to really figure out, like, all right, who's got the different conversations happening, who's got the different biases. So really making sure that the team understands that. In this case, I happen to have participated with the seller, so I had good firsthand experience, so I was really confident. But when cases where like you're evaluating deals where, you have an in-person involved, you got to make sure you're interrogating and making sure, like, okay, this is not, I attended a conference where the person was on stage and I watched them speak. Like, yeah, okay, that doesn't count, guys. Like, that's not actually meeting the client ahead of time and doing what, the classic, are you shaping the deal? Um, but to me, that's the single most important thing. I think in the commercial space, there's other things to pay attention to, maybe different than public sector. Like, when you look at the leadership team that's making the decisions, like, do they have bias towards some of the competitors? Do they have the reason to leave those competitors or to create an alternate vendor that might be stood up against in a primary, secondary kind of motion? Is there a burning need in the business? Is there, like, so there's a lot of other questions you go through to qualify. Um, but the number one thing for me is relationship. Because if you don't have the relationship, you can't overcome the rest of all the other objections you're going to go get.